Hi guys, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, my name is Carmen. Welcome. So I've been getting multiple requests from you guys to do a video about this topic. So we're going to talk about Britney Spears today. So there was recently a documentary that was made about Britney Spears that was put out by the New York Times. And I haven't seen this documentary yet, so I don't know the exact contents of it, but I know that it was about her conservatorship and the fact that she is in her 30s, but she is still under the control of her father, and I guess she's under the control of other people as well because of this conservatorship. And I know that the documentary talks about the Free Britney movement, and there's a whole group of people out there that believe that Britney Spears should be freed from this conservatorship. Will Britney get her freedom back? Will the conservatorship be removed? We're going to find out by looking at her chart today. We're also going to look at if she should even be freed in the first place based on the numbers in her chart, because there's a lot of information that we can tell about somebody by looking at their numerological birth chart. We can tell exactly how stable a person is just by looking at their numbers. Now, I want to say beforehand that my analysis today is going to be completely objective. I grew up listening to her music, but I don't really know a lot of information about Britney Spears' situation. So I'm going to be completely fair and unbiased in my analysis today, and everything that you hear today is going to be just based completely on the numbers that you see in the chart. And so hopefully this will not trigger you in any sort of way. If it does, I apologize, but I just have to reveal whatever information comes up in the numbers. So sometimes that's good and sometimes that's bad. Before we look at the future of Britney Spears and if she will be freed in the future, let's take a look and see if she should be freed to begin with. So the core number chart is basically the 4 most important numbers that are in your birth chart. The life path number is the most important number in your chart because it is your main purpose in life and the main reason you were born. The expression number, also known as the destiny number, is how you express yourself to the world and how other people see you. The soul's urge number is your soul's purpose in life and typically is what brings you a lot of happiness in life. And the birthday number is some of the skills, talents, and abilities that you come into this lifetime with to support your life's purpose. Now, I went ahead and calculated Britney's chart ahead of time for the purpose of saving time in this video. If you want to do this on your own, or if you want to calculate your own birth chart, you can check out a video that I did on how to do this. I'll put a link to that video below, but it's very easy. All you need is your birth date and the first, middle, and last name on your birth certificate, and you can calculate this information in just a few minutes. Now, if you don't want to do this on your own, I will also leave links to some apps that you can download that will do all of this for you. So you can use either of those. So Britney's life path number is a 6, and 6 in numerology represents home, family, and service to other people. People that have this as a life path number, they tend to get married very early. Family is very, very important to them. They want to have children very soon, and they usually do this when they're still young. And having a home, having a family is very, very important to these people. I always think of 6 as being like the caretaker number. These people tend to be caretakers for other people. They really care about other people and how they're doing, and often will put other people before themselves. That's very, very common with them. They're kind of like the mom or dad who brings you soup when you're sick. So they have that quality to them, and they tend to go into professions where they can basically take care of other people. They tend to be doctors and nurses and school teachers, first responders, basically anything where they can help other people. And they tend to have a really big heart. Out of all of the numbers, 6s can have the biggest heart. And they often will be some of the nicest, sweetest people that you have ever met in your entire life. And so this is Britney's main purpose in life, and it's who she is at her core. because a life path number, it's your purpose and it's also who you are at your core. And this seems like the kind of person she is. She seems like the type of person that puts others before herself. She cares a lot about her family, her kids, her home, and she seems like she has a really big heart. So as you can see, the 6 energy is a very stable energy, and people with this as their life path number are not only going to be able to take care of themselves, but they're going to be able to take care of other people too, because that's kind of their purpose, is to be the mom and be the dad, you know, the person in the community that's watching over everybody else and taking care of everybody else's needs. That's what they do. So the life path 6 is kind of used to being in control of other people's lives. So of course, they're going to want to have control over their own life. And if they don't have control over their own life and their own situation, it's going to cause them a lot of depression, and it could drive them crazy not having that level of control. Since, like I said, this is a very parental energy. And notice that Brittney has 2 of these 6s in her chart. Her soul's urge number is also a 6. So not only is family, home, service, and caretaking her purpose, but that's also what brings her happiness. So she has a lot of that 6 energy going on. So at her core, Brittney is an even number. And the even numbers tend to be more stable, and they tend to be more grounded than the odd numbers. But Brittney's expression number is a number 3, and 3 is an odd number. And remember, I told you that the expression number is kind of the way other people see you, and it's kind of how you express yourself to the world. So even though at her core she's an even number, she presents herself to the world as being more like an odd number, and the world sees her as being more like an odd number as well. And the odd numbers are exactly like the word says. They tend to be a little bit more odd. They tend to be a little bit more eccentric than the even numbers. And as you can see, 3 represents creativity and artistic talents. It also represents self-expression and communication. People with this number tend to be very artistic in their talents. They want to express themselves creatively, and often you will see a lot of artists, actors, writers, musical artists, people that are highly creative and basically like to entertain other people will often have this number somewhere in their chart. So this is the way the world sees Brittney, and we definitely do see her as being like that. But as you can see on the negative side of this number, because all numbers in numerology have positive qualities, but they also have qualities that many people would consider to be negative too. So on the negative side of this number tends to be very scattered and very unorganized. It can be very impulsive, it can be very irresponsible, and it can be very unreliable. And now remember, this is her expression number, so it's not who she is at her core. At her core, she is a very stable, grounded person. But this is the way she's expressing herself to the world, and it's the way the world sees her. And some people see her more as the positive 3, and others see her more as the negative 3. And could be one of the reasons why the conservatorship keeps getting renewed every single year. And also, I think that the media probably took this negative energy of her expression number and probably exaggerated it, maybe to profit off of her. But I've seen it happen before where the media or people in powerful positions try to make it look like someone is more like the negative characteristics of their number, basically to make money off of them. So in Brittney's situation, trying to make her look more crazy and impulsive and irresponsible than she actually is, just in order to make money off of her. But the last thing I wanted to mention about her chart is notice how most of the numbers in her chart are even numbers. 3 of the numbers are even. And remember, the even numbers tend to be more stable and they tend to be more responsible than the odd numbers. Now, I am not a psychologist and I don't know what her psychological situation is. So, I'm not making any statements about that in regards to what her psychological status is. But based on the numbers in her chart, I would say that she is a person that is capable of taking care of herself. Not only taking care of herself, but she's capable of taking care of other people. She has the one odd number in there, but that is kind of the way she expresses herself to the world. And, you know, that's not who she is at her core. At her core, she is a person with a lot of even number energy. And it's probably driving her crazy, probably bringing her a lot of depression, that she doesn't have more control over her life based on her numbers. So now let's take a look at her future and see what the future has in store for her. So we all will have 4 pinnacles throughout our lifetime. The pinnacles are kind of like the seasons of your life. So there's spring, summer, fall, and winter. And basically, they kind of predict the major life changes that you will go through and kind of the energy that you will be experiencing during that time period. And as you can see, the first 2 pinnacles that Britney experienced in life were both odd numbers. Her first pinnacle was a 5 pinnacle, and the second pinnacle that she entered in 2012 was a 3 pinnacle. So that tells me that during her younger years, during that time of her life, there was a lot of that odd number energy going on in her life. And 5 can be a very chaotic number on the negative side of the number. 5 is the number of freedom and transition and change. Often people will move constantly during a 5 pinnacle, or they will experience constant shifts and changes in their life. It can be very exciting and super fun on the positive side of the number, but on the negative side, it can just be very chaotic. And we definitely saw that happening with Britney, especially after she became famous. There was a lot of chaos that ensued in her life. And her second pinnacle in life was a 3. And as you remember, 3 on the negative side of that number can have a very similar energy to the number 5. So she's basically had a lot of this chaotic, unstable energy going on pretty much throughout her entire life, and pretty much up until the year 2020. But 2021 is a big year because that is the year that everything started to change for Britney Spears. Because as you can see in her chart, in the year 2021, she moved into an 8 pinnacle. So this is really good news for Britney, because whatever instability that she had in prior years, that will now be corrected with the energy of the number 8. And out of all of the even numbers, the 8 is actually the most stable and the most grounded and the most focused number out of all of them. So as you can see, 8 in numerology is the number of power, and it's the number of strength, being successful, being ambitious, being prosperous. 8 is all about power and gaining power through yourself. If you look at the number 8, it's the infinity sign, right? And that represents endless, unlimited power. You know, being connected to source energy and just realizing that you are also connected to source energy and that you have this power within you. And so Britney will be in this 8 pinnacle for the next 9 years until 2029. So the universe is going to throw situations at her during this time that will teach her how to take her power back. She will be challenged by the universe to take her power back and to become as powerful as she can possibly become. The universe is also going to challenge the rest of the world to help her to do this. And this is just the first year of her 8 pinnacle. She just entered it in the year 2021. So she's just at the beginning of this cycle of becoming more in control. Because 8 is all about having control over other people and power over other people, but it's also about having control and power over your own life and yourself as well. So 2021 is when she entered the 8 pinnacle, and it's no coincidence that this documentary, Framing Britney Spears, came out in 2021, right as she entered her 8 pinnacle. There are no coincidences in life, and that documentary came out because the universe wanted to use it to help Britney to take her power back. And so this will be a journey for her over the next 9 years. It will be a process. And I can definitely see something happening with the conservatorship during the next 9 years because of this 8 pinnacle that she's in. And I've seen all kinds of miraculous things happen to people during an 8 Pinnacle, things that they would have never foreseen or never expected to happen. And that's because of this powerful energy of the 8 number. So because of this, I can see her conservatorship either being altered in some sort of way to give her more power over her finances and over her career, or I could also see it being removed completely, just completely removed. You know, it could go either way because this 8 Pinnacle is so strong and it's so in her favor. And because 8 is ultimately the number of success. So this is good news for Britney. She has a lot of stability and a lot of power and success and prosperity in her future. And so it's going to be good times ahead for her. So let me know in the comments below what your opinion is about the situation with Britney Spears. Do you think that she will be freed in the future? Do you think that she should be freed, that she's capable of taking care of herself? What do you think about the situation? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, share it with other people. I would love to have you subscribe. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Don't forget to check out some other videos that I've done about numerology. I'll put links to those below in the description box. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video today. I'm sending you light and love, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.